This is a new garden for me, which I picked up very late last year, and this is the very first cut on it this year. I was actually asked halfway through last year to look after this garden, and at the time I just didn't have any extra time to give what the customer was after. I just didn't have the time for it. But the customer sort of kept asking, and by the end of the year, last year, I actually, a couple of my customers, one of them moved and one of them unfortunately passed away and lost the job, and I had a bit of an opening. So it does sort of pay, sometimes to be persistent. I actually do a garden pretty much dead opposite to this garden. That's why I was sort of kept being asked. I'd turn up every fortnight, and the customer would see me and give me a shout and see if I had any time on my hands. So now I do two very similar gardens, which are very, very close to each other. I mean, I could literally leave the van on one of the drives and walk across the road to the other garden, and that's absolutely perfect for me. As this is the first visit to this job this year, I'm just going to spend a little bit of time and get a lot of leaves out of all the corners. As you may have seen, there's a couple of fairly big trees on this garden, so at some point a lot of leaves are falling down. I have actually mentioned to the customer at some point in the autumn the price we're on at the moment might change, simply being because these trees are going to be dropping a lot of leaves, and I'm going to have to be spending a lot longer at this job, which is fine. I just wanted to make sure me and the customer are on the same wavelength. I don't want to be turning up in the autumn and be spending an extra 2 hours trying to clear up all the leaves. These trees are fairly massive, and these leaves have got to go somewhere. So as this is my first cut on this lawn, my first question to myself is, which direction am I going to put the stripes? And I always like to try and point my stripes in the neighbour's direction for some reason, so when the neighbours are stood in their garden they can see the stripes looking nice, just in case the neighbours ever decide they want the garden to look nice as well, and they can give me a shout. But so I always like to try and have it looking nice from the road, from anybody that's going to walk past. And in this case, this little front garden here, the stripes look best being on a diagonal. You might be able to tell from the video, but this lawn was recently treated. I think it had a feed or a weed and feed. I haven't done that. That's not my thing at this place. They obviously have a company that comes in and looks after that sort of thing for them. The lawn's looking very nice, so they're obviously doing a pretty good job of it. Also, I don't do the hedges here. They've had company come in and sort the hedges out for them. They probably had the same company come and look after them for years and years. I don't need to get involved in that. I think the hedges look good. Whoever does them does a good job on them, and I'm honestly, I'm busy enough. I don't need to get involved. My thing at this job is to look after the lawns and to look after the beds and a few of the shrubs. Make sure they all look nice, and that's enough for me. As I said before, I worked across the road from this job for about a year now, and I have noticed another gardener coming to this job before I came here. And the customer, the reason I got this job basically is because the other gardener just stopped coming. Basically, he just disappeared off one day and never came back, which is good news for me. I get the job, but that does also ring a couple of alarm bells to me. I've had in the past jobs like this where the gardener just all of a sudden up and vanishes. There's normally a reason why the gardener up and vanished. I'm not saying that this will happen on this job, but I've had it a few times. One of the past times I had it where the new customer told me that the old gardener just disappeared. The customer was an absolute nightmare and only lasted probably two visits, and I was the next gardener to disappear off. So I'm not going to say that's happened with this place here. I get on very well with the customer at the moment, but yeah, just something to be maybe aware of, that if you start and work for somebody and their last gardener just disappeared, there could be a reason. The mower I'm using is the original Hater 41 Pro, which I've had now for probably the last 5-6 years. Still going really well. Never really had much of an issue with it. Uh, my repair guy has had a look at it over the last month or so and has said that probably at the end of this year it will need a new roller on it and a few little bits and pieces, new blade, that sort of thing. But again, really, at the minute, I've said for the last couple of years, whether I'll replace it or not. But I brought a new mower last year, and I didn't really want to have to buy another one this year. But maybe next year I'll look into something, getting a new one. But the 41 for me at the minute is really good. Suits pretty much all the gardens I use it on, and so yes, after 5 or 6 years, still doing its thing. So I'm nearly at the end of this lawn now, so I will say goodbye to you quickly. Thanks for watching. Not quite getting the videos out as quickly as I'd have liked at the moment, but life for me at the moment is pretty busy. Probably be getting a little bit busier at some point as well this year, but I will just try and get as many videos out as I can. Hoping to do a few jobs with me and Dad soon, so you know, see Dad in the videos. Anyway, I hope all is well. Stay busy, guys. Take care, be good, and I will see you next time.